Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Two Guys, One Crypt. I'm one of your hosts, JB. This is one of my other hosts. That way.
Chuck Nasty.
Yeah. How's it going, buddy?
A little under the weather, but it's other than that, I've been all right.
Right. Fortunately, just so everybody knows, it's nothing too serious. Well, I guess I don't mean to say it like that. Like it's not COVID related, at least.
Oh yeah, no, it's Crohn's disease related.
Right. So it is a little bit better, but
Yeah.
Anyways, we got a fun movie playing this week.
Oh yeah.
Right. We should have probably put a little bit of thought into what we're doing next week, but whatever. So you picked this movie out, didn't you, man?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a moment where I was like, you know what, I want to watch this. And I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, this is so ridiculous. I hadn't watched it in years, and I was like, we have to do this just because we could talk about it. It's awesome.
That's fair. I absolutely love this movie. But before we actually get into talking about what movie we're doing this week, let's go ahead and introduce our guest. So we actually got a good friend of the show on, man. Mr. Ron Purtee. How's it going, bud?
Where's Ron?
I have
oh, hey, everybody. It's me. That's me. Hiya, folks.
How's it going, man?
I had to cleanse my palate after rewatching this movie by watching something a little less gross. And that was the 1981 classic The Evil Dead.
It's a fucking amazing movie, to be honest with you. And Lori chimes in, one of my favorites, weird but great. I'm assuming she is talking about the movie we're doing this week, Nothing But Trouble. But before we get to that, dude, dude, for sure. But we need to figure out what the hell's new with Ron this week, man. What's going on with you, man?
Oh, wow. What's new with me? I'm going to be posting once or twice a week. I've been recording video game playing and with my my fantastic commentary. And I'm going to be putting that up. I'm going to be doing more like just relaxed kind of talky streams with characters and stuff at that website right there at 11 p.m. Eastern starting on Monday. So head there. It's going to be fun. We'll be on for an hour or two. We're not nothing fancy. We're not asking for all of your time, just some of it. And yeah, the first video game video that's coming out is going to be me playing Destiny 2 with my friend Jen. There is a really funny video up, though. If you go to my YouTube channel at one point and look up the video Donald by Daylight. That's all I'm going to say. It's I'm playing Dead by Daylight. Somebody redeemed some channel points, so I had to do an impersonation throughout the entire match. So, of course, I was playing as a black woman, and I had to do Donald Trump's voice. So the first two lines you hear are, "Oh, no, where am I? Oh, my God, I'm black." And then it just kind of goes downhill from there.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's pretty fun, man. So anyways, everyone check that out over at twitch.tv/realronpurtee. That's spelled RealRonPurtee. That's pretty cool, though, man. I enjoy watching some of your streams. I'm not huge into watching a lot of the video game ones, but your commentary makes it a lot more enjoyable. That's for sure.
Well, I appreciate that. And I had somebody come in there, and they were just lurking, and I was playing Dead by Daylight, and I wasn't saying much because I was concentrating on the match, and I'm doing these generators, and she said there would be no audio except for gameplay, and all of a sudden you just hear, "Fuck! Fuck! God damn it!" Just stuff like that. So yeah, it was.
I did notice the other day you got a pretty big donation.
A big donation? Are you talking about this thing here?
No. I'm talking about on Twitch.
Which one?
The fake 9,900.
Oh yeah, that guy was a real knob. Pick a number between 1 and 7,500. I'm like, okay. And I got nothing. That lying son of a bitch.
You got tricked, damn it.
I got tricked into thinking I was getting money. So give me money instead. I got nothing.
Right. So anyways, we're doing 1991's Nothing But Trouble. And Chuck, you picked this one out, dude. Like, why did you want to do this movie?
Man, for a lot of reasons. Like like I said, I watched it when I had the idea, and I was watching it. I was like, man, I really do love this movie. It's a film that I remember when I was younger watching it, and just thinking like it was everything I liked, and that I do like. You know, when it comes down to comedies, I like them to be kind of dark. I'm into horror movies. There's a horror element there to it. I like the grossness, and just yeah, the star-studded cast. I mean, Chevy Chase, Demi Moore, Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, appearance by Digital Underground featuring Tupac back before he became what everybody knows him as. I just love it.
You were safe just saying Digital Underground because he technically was part of it. There's no point to just sit there and point out Tupac. They're all equal.
Well, that is true.
He didn't look right to me though because he wasn't a hologram. So
they're far from equal members. Tupac maybe was like way higher. But anyways, go ahead, Chuck. Sorry about that.
But yeah, no, I thought it would be a good one for us to talk about. I mean, I know that usually we're not supposed to talk about stuff that's good, but this one's just too fucked up not to talk about on here.
Well, to be fair, we usually, yes, that's pretty much where we stick at. But if you go and look at the user reviews for this movie, they're not on an above average trend whatsoever. And, you know, me and Ron were talking about that even before we got, you know, going with the live show. And, you know, the majority of this is pretty middle of the road, if not lower than that in most sites. So this kind of does fit in exactly with what we do.
And we did all talk about Blood Diner. I mean, and we all loved Blood Diner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Blood Diner almost had about the same rating as this. So
I don't get why this one is so hated, you know, by critics and like just reviews. Because to me, I think it's one of the best comedies that I ever watched, and I was like younger and shit. And even now, it still holds up. Still makes me laugh my ass off and want to puke at the same time. So
I don't know. Maybe they had some weird thing about letting Dan Aykroyd actually direct his own movie.
Right.
You know.
Oh, I have so much to say about that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that. We got our buddy Michael Ravenshadow chiming in. Bombaleo, what's up, boys? Hey, Michael Ravenshadow, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. We love you, man. Oh, dude. So, anyways, Chuck, I know you're not feeling too great, but I want to go ahead and ask just in case. Do you want to go ahead and give us a fairly quick walkthrough of this movie? Or would you like somebody else to do it this week?
Let me see if I can do a quick one. Chevy Chase plays a rich guy who has this nice big party going on. He ends up meeting Demi Moore. And Demi Moore's character, Diane, she needs a ride somewhere, but she doesn't have a vehicle. But he's got some nice vehicles, and he's trying to get with her. So they're scheduled to meet up the next day.
It's weird seeing a really, really nice vehicle from 1991.
Right.
Like it's nowhere near like a vehicle right now.
Yeah. It is actually kind of funny. But yeah, so he agrees to take her on this trip somewhere. I can't remember where. And he's thinking
Atlantic City.
Yeah. And they're supposed to meet up and stuff. Originally, he was just hungover and he didn't want to go anywhere, but he was just going to let her borrow the car. And then he sees how she looks. He's like, oh, okay. And of course, they're stopped by the brother-sister duo. That's probably the most irritating thing about this movie. The Cuban? The Cuban?
I believe when you see their passport, it says Argentina. So I think they're called Argentinians. But I kind of just made that up. It might be real, might not be real. I don't know.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is who you've been talking about, the Argentinians on the left, obviously.
Yeah. And they end up they want to go, and they're kind of pushing about it, so they kind of just hop on right in the car, and there's not really ifs, ands, or buts about it. And they get I guess they get about, I don't even know if they're halfway there, but they end up taking a wrong turn and getting pulled over by John Candy, who is a cop. but not your ordinary cop. And they pull him over first?
Well,
okay.
he rolls through that stop sign. That's what starts it all. He rolls through the stop sign in the village.
Yeah. And John Candy, he pulls him over, and Chevy Chase is kind of a smart ass. Does he speed off right then?
Well, he gets talked into it from the Argentinians. They're like, "You got to you know."
Yeah, which is so weird. It's like, why would you talk him into like wanting to get pulled over? I don't know.
Because they're Argentinians,
right?
I guess they like the action. Go fast. I'm really confused on how they got like I don't know. Go ahead. Like when the cop car started going fast, though.
Yeah, they end up getting arrested or taken to the jail or whatever. And shit, here, help me out here, bro.
All right. So on their way through there and everything, they're getting pulled over and they're speeding off even faster. And that's when was it Dennis? I believe is the cop's name, right? I think so. Yeah. So he ends up pulling this extra switch, which pulls off like this detour thing, which closes off a road, and he kind of forces him down a certain way, and ends up kind of just trapping him with him, and I believe it's his sister, the other cop, right? That's his sister, I think. They're all family regardless.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, after that, they kind of like make them go to court right away on the spot without giving them a ticket or anything. And even though they were on a hurry and he tried bribing them a bunch of times, they just wanted to get them and give them a ticket for that rolling stop and nothing else.
Yeah.
And John Candy's character, like when he plays the cop, he's a pretty by the book, by the numbers cop. Because if you remember, he goes up to the judge and he goes, "Look, this is what they did. I suggest a fine and release or something like that." Yeah. And then the judge is like, "Why don't you bake him a pie while you're at it?" That's what it's like. Right. Yeah.
Well, we also soon right away after that figure out like the real reason why he really like pretty much holds on to them all is because Chris is a financial writer or a financial advice writer. Is that what
banker?
It is? Yeah, banker. And he, the judge really holds a grudge against bankers. So realistically, if Chevy Chase would have been any other profession, this whole movie wouldn't have happened. Think about it.
I don't know.
We would have let him go. They would have let him go if he wasn't a financial advice writer, which isn't even a fucking banker.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, Chuck, do you want to go ahead and continue, or do you want me to go?
Let's just all do it. Like,
all right, fair enough, buddy. All right. So this is one of the coolest scenes, though, is where we get to see the judge, and then we get to see like this whole room, I guess like the whole wall of that one room, like transform into like his whole area. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. And this is one of the parts like I remember watching this as a kid, and that's like one of the parts that like really stuck out to me. I know, Ron, you're quite a bit older than both of us.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I think you remember watching this when it came out, but you probably weren't as young as I.
I was 12, 11, 12. Yeah, because you're a fucking toddler. That's why.
Oh God! And
I don't know.
And Dan Aykroyd plays the judge, though, and it's fucking hilarious the way he looks throughout this whole movie. And I'll show a few pictures here later on, but we get to see some nice changes in his face throughout the film, which is pretty great. And in a really cool way, this is probably like one of my favorite things about this movie too, is like we get to see other events happening outside of the main story, like other people getting arrested and everything.
Yeah.
Which we actually get to see fairly shortly. So anyways, with this trial, that it's just like, Dennis says, it's very, very fast. And he ends up deciding to pretty much make them stay till the next day for like a retrial because what's his name? I already forgot. Chevy Chase's character, Chris. But he pretty much like goes off, starts smoking, then cussing, which is one of the rules that he's not allowed to do. Apparently the judge is a real stickler for that, but ends up dropping them through this trap door onto doll parts,
rubber ducks or something,
squeaky toys. Yeah. Pretty
all the above.
Very, very odd choice, that's for sure. But I guess that's one of the things that really added to the creep factor of this movie and kind of gives it some of these horror elements, is like a lot of the makeup that's done with it. But anyways, after they're trapped there, is that where we get our second arrest coming in, I believe? Or am I going too far ahead of myself there?
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think.
Baldwin first,
well, I'm trying to think, because did they have dinner first, or did that first couple get arrested? I think the other people got arrested first, and then we had the dinner. So with the first couple, I'm pretty sure. I just watched it too, man. But I remember everything that happens in this movie is just getting the fucking order down. That's where they get you, damn it. So our second group of people that get arrested, we get one of the Baldwin brothers. Or is he one of the brothers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They all look alike. Every fucking one of them. It's so hard. Like, I can barely tell them all apart. In fact,
I can tell them all apart, but
I can only tell Steven apart because he's the cool one.
Yeah.
Ron, you seem a little bit disappointed with that statement.
I'm gonna breathe and
Biodome. That's come on.
I hate that movie.
You wait till I make you watch it for the show.
I fucking hate that movie.
I love it.
Don't do it, man.
Whatever, you'll love it.
Look at him; he's in physical pain because you mentioned the movie.
The movie's not that bad.
I am.
Pauly Shore is a fucking great actor.
He's a big reason why I don't like that movie.
Really? So
I hate Pauly Shore.
You're gonna tell me you also don't like Son-in-Law or Jury Duty?
You know what's funny about Pauly Shore is his mom.
Jury Duty was okay.
His mom used to own the Comedy Store in L.A., and she would purposely bring in younger comics just to have people hang out with Pauly.
Yeah.
Because nobody liked him.
Whatever. I think he's great. I don't care. I'd be his friend if he'd let me.
I'm sure he probably would.
I don't know if I could stand him.
Oh, wow. What a comment. So Michael Raven Shadows chiming in. He says, gotta say, I was probably 15 when I saw this movie, and I was really confused. One, it had a cast I adored, included Taylor Negron. God, I hope I said that right. Who I love. But two, I thought it was really gross, especially Aykroyd as the judge. I 100% agree. Yes, it was great to see Humpty in Digital Underground. That's exactly how I would have said it too. I should watch again from an older perspective. For me, this was when Chevy stopped being funny.
Yes. I'll get into that when I talk about it, but go on.
I'm going to have to look at a timeline of Chevy Chase's career after this to actually really figure that out.
Oh, his career went in the shitter.
Because I'm glad you boys are discussing this, because it is a really unique film that it seems like either people love it or hate it.
True.
I don't know if I'm not allowed to see the rest of that. It might be just too long for this.
Yeah.
But so I can't see it right now. But everybody who's on there, whatever, if you go to the Facebook group and check out what Michael Raven Shadow is saying under the live show, you'll be able to read the rest of it.
That's a true statement about that movie, though. Is the fact that people they just love it or they hate it. There's no in between.
I'm in between, and I have reasons why.
There is none, Ron.
Bullshit. I'm the exception to the rule.
No.
Oh, whatever. We got Lori chiming in again, saying "in the army now."
Oh,
yeah. See, look at this. Biodome is my joint. Mine too.
Okay,
I fucking love Biodome.
There's funny parts, but
if you've watched my stream at all, you know my reaction to things I don't like. Okay, all better.
And for everybody listening on the podcast, Ron's going to go ahead and wipe. I'm going to edit this out, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, yeah. We're back. I'm going to trick everybody in podcast land. Come watch the live show if you want to really see what just happened there.
I made a poopy in the
potty. So, anyways, I'm trying to think of where I was. So, so we had this other couple of people arrested, and they were all trashed. They were really fucked up. They had coke and everything else with them too. And
coke.
It looked like a 5-pound bag. Like they had 5 pounds marked on it.
That's a lot of coke. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Fuck. Which may I also add, I'm pretty sure was probably used the rest of the way by the end of filming this movie. But anyways, this right here, I think this whole scene was probably set up just so we could see this next part. So when the judge sentenced them, he's going really quick, but you end up hearing while he's talking that he's sentencing them to an execution. And he pulls this other yes. And he pulls another lever and it starts like this conveyor, and it throws him outside, which in turn throws him onto a roller coaster, which in probably one of the cooler things about this movie, which I really like the whole outdoor way they did with this
bone grinder or whatever.
Bone stripper.
The bone stripper.
Yeah, bone stripper.
Which
that's all.
I feel like flesh stripper would be a more appropriate name because it does rip the bones out. Never mind. It's pretty appropriate. So somehow these pointed cans on this little end kind of just strip off all the flesh, and on the other side it spits out all their fucking bones all over the damn place. Yeah. And yeah. So yeah. And then after this we get one of Chuck's favorite scenes. We get dinner. And yes. With dinner we also get to meet the judge's granddaughter, Aldana.
You will marry my granddaughter.
Oh my god! Which
Chuck is auditioning for the remake of Nothing But Trouble so he can play the judge.
I would love that.
No makeup needed.
I would love that so much. Yeah, thanks.
But she comes in and she's serving them all these really, really big sausages, and the judge,
which is why I could not eat bratwurst for the longest time when I first saw this movie.
Why? It was just so delicious. Doesn't that make you want to eat a bratwurst right there? Dan Aykroyd with his little dick nose eating this giant sausage, just soaked in condiments too. Like you see him put the mustard on, but I don't know what this white stuff is, or is that other stuff ketchup? Mayonnaise ketchup. He just loads it up with everything. It's fucking gross as fuck.
He's a great character, though. It really is a great character. There's so many great characters in this movie.
I come from the bratwurst state now, so thanks.
Oh god, this is what you're all like there, right?
No, actually, you don't even see us finish them. We're just like,
oh god,
yeah, we don't sit there with our dick noses going.
Right, you just take that whole sausage right down.
Right down.
Yeah,
we just take that sausage right down, and we're like, give me your load, Master Seaman.
Fuck. All right. So, with this being said, now we're at the dinner table, and this is where we're starting to get some of the, I guess, more of the explanation on why he hates bankers. And was it his grandpa or was it his great grandpa? Well, either way, was tricked into getting pretty much his land pretty much all the way mined out, and pretty much just completely just messed up all of the land for these. I forget what they said they were. What kind of stocks were they, or what kind of bonds? Were they couch?
I don't remember.
I don't know. But they're pretty much these worthless bonds. So they end up making no money, and it ruins all the land there. And now the judge has this huge grudge against any banker, which he's still not a banker, but whatever. So with this, I'm trying to think of what's going to happen next here. So they what they. Oh god damn it! I can't fucking. This is where the other couple starts to freak out, right? And then they jump out that window and they take off. And after they take off, they run through the thing, and they're sending the dogs after them at this point. And before the dogs are even getting to them, they've already made it to the moat that we've seen at the beginning of this. I guess near the beginning of this movie, but they swim across this moat, and this. What is it, like sewage or toxic? It's fucking. It looks really like gross
spikes
too.
And shit in it.
Yeah, but they're spread out pretty far where it looks like it's maybe not to impale people. I'm not sure, but they end up actually making it all the way across. And after they make it across, they end up seeing Dennis, and he's ready to take them in, and he kind of gets talked out of it, and he pretty much disappears from the rest of the movie after this too, really.
Yeah, they escaped, and we don't know what happened to them. They just kind of vanished.
Yeah.
Until the end of the movie.
You're right. But he gets talked out of it. He gets encouraged for this whole extravagant lifestyle and a vacation and just taking time away. And you could tell he's kind of even throughout the beginning of it that he was kind of having like a change of heart being a cop for this judge, and even though they were family members, but. After this, we get the scene where Chevy Chase and Diane are they go to try to leave, and then they get stuck inside, and then they get taken upstairs and put into a different room. And the movie progressively gets really fucking weird really quick after this. We get pretty much them going into one. Yes, we do get Digital Underground coming in, and
scene.
Yes, they play same song.
Yeah,
which I am on YouTube, so I'm not allowed to play it because I keep getting flagged for playing shit. So I've got to stop doing that. But it could be worse. And after that, we get oh god, what is it? They're in a room with a bunch of IDs, and who's it? Jimmy Hoffa, and the skeletons. And they're freaking out, and the whole room's a wreck. And like from there, they're sitting down waiting until like another little area opens up, and then we get this weird. It kind of reminded me of Scooby-Doo, them like running through hallways, checking doors and stuff, and then the wall starts to close in on them, and they barely make it right in time, and they go to climb. Oh, then they climb into the attic. That's the one with the IDs, right? And from there, then another door opens up, and then there's a slide. And with the slide, it kind of wise off near the middle of it, I guess. And they end up splitting up. And Chris gets stuck right on the other side of the wall of the judge. And it's probably one of the more gross scenes that we get to see in this movie. And this is where we get to see that. Yeah. Which also brings a lot of questions too, because now you got to think about it. So here's the picture. We get to see that the actual dick nose is fake, and you get to see that it's all destroyed, and it's just, his whole face is fucked up. But with that being said, that means he chose to have a dick on his face. Like, like that was a choice. Like it wasn't like any accident or anything like that. But
I never thought about that, but yeah,
it's kind of fucked up. And well, we end up finding out this, this is his bedroom. He ends up going to sleep, and of course, we get some farts in there too, because it's a Dan Aykroyd movie, and we're bound to have farts in this.
It is happens.
Ron doesn't seem surprised at all.
No, not a lick. Not a lick.
No. And well, at the same time a lot of this is going on, Diane is meeting, what is it, Bobo. And I always forget the other one's name. Little Debble or Deeble.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Which Dan Aykroyd is also Bobo, of course. Which they're probably one of the more gross scenes in this movie too. Like when you're actually seeing them for the first time, and you can see like their very, very low stomachs jiggling and moving. Like, oh god, that was really fucking gross looking.
Yeah,
but I still love it. And she ends up finding the car though, and gets a little too excited before she realizes that the car's not going to start. And later on we figure out it's not completely fucked up, but she just didn't know how to bypass it or whatever. And she's trying to get away, and she, like I said, she gets captured by Bobo and Little Deeble. I'm never gonna get that fucking right. I don't even care anymore at this point. But
Close.
So and then like with this going on, this is where we get to see where Chris is like, what is it? He touches God damn it, what the fuck is her name? Aldona?
Aldona, yeah.
Yeah, and what is the rule of the like rule of the land or whatever he says it is? It's like if you touch her, you keep her type thing.
Yeah.
So shortly after that we start to get this scene where John Candy and Drag is going to marry Chevy Chase with Digital Underground playing the music, which may I add would probably be one of the coolest fucking weddings in the world.
I mean, I don't know about. I mean, it'd be interesting. I guess.
I think it would be fucking awesome. How could that not be cool? Like, I mean, that scene alone should have millions of hits on YouTube. There's no reason this movie should be something that we are able to do on this show.
Fair.
Yeah.
But anyways, he ends up not being able to want to go through with it. So the judge gets pissed off and pretty much sends him to the conveyor. And then we get to see him go through the coaster, all the motions there, almost to the Bone Ripper. And once he's getting really, really close to the Bone Ripper, what is it? The belt snap and like the whole axle falls off and everything. And he gets lucky and he goes and runs off and everything. And keep in mind they have Diana at the time. So he's kind of used, now the judge is going to use her against him to kind of like bring him this way or whatever. Not really, I guess, use her, but he ends up really, going for, giving her harm after, he does not like really get there in time. And she goes and like, hints him off to run away and get out of there and everything. And, so the judge is like, they strap her and chain her down to the,
like some platform.
Yeah.
Watermelon cutter slicer or something.
Well, I think they just, it's really just three snow plows. It's three snow plows. Those are fucking heavy enough to fucking chop through you.
Yeah.
Like, especially at that height, that's going to go right through you. Yeah, at least I'd hope. I really, really hope that would not feel good if it didn't go right through. But so Chris is trying to save her now. So with him trying to save her, he's obviously also under a time limit because you can't have any kind of rescue mission go on without some kind of a countdown. And once he's getting close to 5 seconds, he's lighting this barrel on fire and throwing it towards them or rolling it towards them. Ends up causing an explosion, which, is a pretty good distraction for him to go over to Diane and try to save her. And they are able to go and run away from it. And there's still more explosions going on. And, they explain also with them mining out all the coal, it fucked up the land really, really bad. But, we also get this one scene where the judge's like walking stick goes through the dirt, which like maybe an inch and a half. And he's already like touching something like molting hot. Like there's lava, like just like that close to the ground, which doesn't make sense because that would melt your fucking feet walking over it. But you guys could add into this.
When I start talking, I'm gonna ramble for a minute, so I'm saving my energy.
Okay, you can save your energy till after our commercial break and when we talk about the movie and really break it down then. So, especially since I'm so close to finishing up, but
yeah, just finish.
Yeah. By the way, I'm sorry, everybody. I didn't go into today realizing that I was going to do this. Chuck wasn't feeling well, like I said, so. I'm
sorry. I'm just glad I was able to be here.
Okay.
I feel like complete shit, man. So that's.
Oh, dude, I'm just happy you're here. I'm just happy you're here, buddy. So, anyways, they go to start to take off and get out of there, and they jump onto a train, and barely make it out, and they go to the next city. And then we see like the next day, and they're talking to the cops, and the cops want them to go with them to identify the place, and which is not the way that would go down at all.
No, not at all. No.
But Diane's character is kind of eager to catch them and kind of like talks them into it. And we get another scene after, a couple more minutes there where they actually get back to the place. And as they're all pulling up, they want them to kind of lure out the judge. And, that's where we get to see Diane kind of pushing him again to, like, oh, yeah, we want to get him out of here. And he goes over there and probably where we get, like, probably one of the, I guess, really, like, best, like, funnier scenes. We end up realizing that the judge knows every single person that came there, which, may I add, was
there's a watch desk behind you.
People. Oh, yeah.
Hi, Judge.
Oh, yeah, they all knew him. And then we get another like escape scene with the whole place blowing up again, and
ground opening up. And
yeah, like just pretty much like was it eating the building pretty much, just taking it all in. And we get another scene with them leaving, and it pretty much ends the movie.
Well, except for the big twist at the end. The judge.
Oh yes. So, after them escaping and everything, we don't know exactly how long it's been, but it's obviously been a couple of days at least, if not maybe a little bit longer. And
well, hold on. Can I do this in part here? Can I do this part? So at the end of it,
go ahead. Yeah,
so at the end of it,
after I do the work,
right, yeah, exactly. At the end of it, you see John Candy, Dennis, with the Argentinian people, and he's living.
I really hope I didn't make that up and it was real.
It sounds right, but like he's with the sister, and like they're like living on easy street because they're all rich now. Like, well, they were already rich, so now he's rich.
Yeah, they were billionaires.
Yeah, and then you go over to Chevy Chase and Demi Moore. They're at some apartment or whatever, and he's watching the TV. And well, first you see him. He's like, he's on the couch and he's like having a dream. Snappy, and like that. I think that always cracks me up. And he wakes up and he's like watching the news. And on the news, they have they're talking about the whole area of Valcavania burning down, all that shit. And they go up to this one old guy with a blanket over him. And they're like, "What are you gonna do?" He's like, "I'm gonna go live with my grandson-in-law or whatever." Yeah. He's a banker, and he's just like, and then you just see like the whole like cartoon thing in the wall of impression of like Chevy Chase running through the wall.
He lives in New York. See you soon, banker.
Right? And
yeah.
That pretty much wraps up the movie. So
yeah, man.
I guess before we get to what we thought about this movie, as well as some of the reviews and etc. Well, I guess before we get to our commercial break, which isn't really a commercial break this week, Chuck.
Oh, I know, that's right.
You're right, yeah. Before then, I do want to talk about one thing. So it was established earlier that we need to look at Chevy Chase's career around 1991, which is when this movie came out. Because this right here is like what they say marked like the end of him being funny.
Well, I never thought he was funny.
Really?
Yeah, I never liked Chevy Chase.
Really?
And I'll talk about that when we come back.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Because I was gonna say the vacation movies, like Vegas Vacation, like a lot of those came out afterwards, and those were pretty good. Like I don't know, I don't mind Chevy Chase, even though don't get me wrong, I still believe his best performance, like, and I'll fight this all day long, is in the Call Me Al video.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Right. But anyways, we're not doing a commercial break this week, are we, Chuck?
No, we're not.
No, we're not. Do you want to go ahead and introduce what we're doing?
Yeah. Perry, who's been on a few times, Perry Pallinero, his band Star Control, and his new song is called, what was it called again?
Hidden Love.
That's right. Okay. Really cool jam. Reminds me of Mark Lanigan, shit like that. I dig it, and I hope everybody else does too.
Right. Oh, hey, man, I dig it too. Hopefully Ron will. I'm not sure if he's heard this one yet, but here's the newest track from Star Control, Hidden Love. Great job, Perry. Man, we love seeing your new tracks all the time, man. Dude, you do an awesome job. For everybody, go check out Star Control on YouTube, Bandcamp. All those links were in that video there. Perry's a really cool dude too, man. What do you think of that one, Ron?
I can see the Mark Lanigan comparison, but I also feel like there's a twinge, a little sprinkling of Ian Curtis in there from Joy Division.
That's fair.
But no, I really dug that.
Yeah, it was really
he's got
cool.
some good stuff. Yeah,
definitely.
There's a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, for real.
I couldn't for some reason I couldn't see the video or hear the song.
Oh.
It said your player failed to play the video or whatever. I've heard the song. I've heard the song before, but this time I
so you could have played that off, but instead you had to point it out.
Well, I just didn't know.
Way to go,
Good job, Charles.
Motherfucker.
Oh, whatever.
Second time you called me that.
I know. I have to do it. Sorry. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get into what we thought about this movie. So, Ron, you're the guest this week. Why don't you start us off? I feel like you have a lot to say.
I do. The weakest point of this film was Chevy Chase, hands down for me. Now, there's a ton of creativity in this movie. There's tons of it, but there's no story structure. Everything falls apart. Everything is just nothing like kind of cohesively makes sense. If I was to compare this to any other movie, which I can, by the way, okay, this is the weird amalgamation of Goonies and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Am I wrong?
No, not really. I never.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. I never thought.
Yeah, kind of in a way. I see it.
I can see that.
I mean, and then the thing about it is Dan Aykroyd is a far better idea man than he is a full-on script writer. The story goes, John Landis tells it, that when he brought the script to John Landis for Blues Brothers, it was like this thick, and it had a little mini movie for every single member of the band. And John Landis had to be like, look, we got to whittle this down to like 90 pages. This is not, and that's the way he is. And he throws all sorts of stuff in there. He's best if he sits in with the writers and it's like, okay, this is what we need to do. But with nothing but trouble, they're like, here, go ahead and make your movie and you can direct it because John Hughes and John Landis won't touch the son of a bitch. So, I mean, Dan Aykroyd needs somebody there to kind of rein him in. You know what I mean? Kind of like not tell him no, but say, hey, maybe we should try this a different way. That's how you get dick on the nose.
But the dick on the nose is funny.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not.
Funny.
And there's tons of creativity in this movie. That is, and that's it's not boring. One of my things is the same thing Joe Bob Briggs says. The only sin of a movie is if it's boring, and this was not boring.
No.
Granted, it was the first movie I've seen in a long time where I wanted the protagonist to die. I wanted to see Chevy Chase die. So I mean, you got to remember after this, he did the Chevy Chase show. Remember the Chevy Chase show?
Yeah. Vaguely.
Can we forget the Chevy? Can somebody get me some bleach so I can drink it and forget the Chevy Chase show? Because that was horrible. And then at that point, he does Vegas Vacation, but then everything else he's kind of regulated to cameo roles or smaller roles, like he's the repairman in Hot Tub Time Machine 1 and 2. You remember those magnum opuses? The last good role he had was in Adam Rifkin's The Last Movie Star with Burt Reynolds, because he wasn't being funny. And I love that movie. It's so good. Burt got robbed for the Oscar, I'll tell you.
I don't know. I really like Chevy Chase. Whatever.
Well, there's like from SNL fans' point of view, there's like there's kind of like a war. I don't want to call it a war because it's not really a war, but you're either Bill Murray or Chevy Chase, because Bill Murray replaced Chevy Chase when he came in, when Chevy left. And apparently at one, I don't know if it was an after party or something, when I think Chevy was hosting or something and Bill was there, they got into a fist fight. So, and I'm a much bigger Bill Murray fan than I am Chevy Chase. I think Bill Murray is a goddamn genius, and that just the weird shit that he does. But Chevy is just kind of a dick.
I still like both of them. Whatever.
his cameo. One of my favorite cameos is when he was on what's that fucking Norm Macdonald?
Dirty Work.
Yeah, where he's the doctor. And
yeah, that was fine. Yeah, because it wasn't a huge major role. He didn't have to carry the movie. You know what I mean?
Well, he's dead.
But yeah, no, it's. I mean, I like the movie. I don't. It's not bad. Everyone needs to see this movie, but it's. I don't know. It's one of those weird ones where I'm just like, I don't know what to think, because for as much awesome as there is in there, like with all the contraptions, like the doctor or the judge's chair coming down from the ceiling, and the train of condiments and all the weird shit like his degree in engineering pops up out of the thing and all that kind of stuff. It's like, that's all very cool.
Right.
But the story, as from a story standpoint, it's kind of like, what? What? Okay, all right. So it's enjoyable, and there's a lot of creativity put in there. But this thing, I mean, story-wise, just falls apart for me. But so it's like, I don't hate it, I don't love it. I'm kind of like, what? What?
That's fair, I guess.
That's why I watched Evil Dead when it was over.
So, what would you rate this one with a rating between 1 and 10?
5.5.
Damn.
and that's like what we were talking about earlier. It's like, that's why I think people are I think a lot of people probably see it the same way I do, where there's a lot of cool things in the movie, but Chevy Chase is in it, and the script isn't that great, because Dan Aykroyd probably drank a whole bunch of Crystal Skull vodka when he sat down to write it, and maybe some LSD, but you know.
Oh man, him as Crystal Skull. Yeah,
I hear it's very smooth.
I would like to see Dan Aykroyd in his mindset these days recreate this movie.
Oh, somebody from Drew McQueenie, I don't know what site he writes for, said that he reached out to Dan Aykroyd and said, I want to do a big composium on Nothing But Trouble, and I want to reach out to you to get like input. And Dan Aykroyd responded to him saying, it would be a horrible waste of your time, and it would show that you make horrible decisions in life.
Oh, wow.
I would do it in a heartbeat. I don't care. I would love to do that.
Because you notice Dan Aykroyd hasn't directed a movie since.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
But this one, I'm curious, like, 'cause I didn't look up how much money it made or anything like that, but I feel like he had to have. No, you're right. He only directed one movie.
And I feel like John Candy just kind of phoned it in. John Candy just kind of phoned it in. He didn't really, even playing the sister. He didn't. It's like you see him in so many other great things like Great Outdoors or Uncle Buck or Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, and you're like, wow, he's great. And in this, he's just kind of there.
Yeah. I wonder if this is the movie that started to kill him.
It might have. I mean, and plus, you got to remember this movie is Demi Moore was coming right off of Ghost after this.
Well, this is way better than Ghost, to be fair.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just, she's coming from like this huge box office and critically acclaimed film, and then she does Dick Knows the Movie.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's what it's called in Argentina. Dick Knows the Movie.
It probably is. I whatever. So, anyways, Chuck, what did you think about this movie, and why don't you give it your rating?
I love this movie tremendously. It's fun. It's a fun watch. There's never a time where it's on or whatever, and I'm just like, eh. It's one of those. I could actually watch this movie a bunch. Like I said earlier, I like the characters in it and everything are awesome. The creativity with like everything you mentioned, Ron, with the condiment tray and the weird contraptions, the fucking bone stripper thing,
bone ripper,
which whatever. That to me, like, is a pretty interesting contraption, and it'd be a horrible way to die. And honestly, if somebody was to remake this movie and do it like I don't know, a little darker of a way, I think it's an awesome story. Just because I also like fucked up shit like that. But with this movie, man, I it's also nostalgic for me because I remember like when I was younger watching it and shit, and always enjoying it, always thinking it was fucked up. Yeah, I think I'd probably have to. I'd honestly probably have to give this. You said 1 to 10, right?
Yes.
I'll give it an 8. That's how much I like this movie.
Fair. So I guess it's my turn.
I hope so because there's nobody else here.
Yeah, I guess you might be right, maybe. But anyways, I disagree greatly with what Ron said. Chevy Chase is an amazing actor. You can watch the Call Me Al video, and I mean, you could really see his talent shine through. You could just put that on repeat, really, and it's amazing. It's a great song. It's Paul Simon at his best. But this isn't a review about Paul Simon. Otherwise, it would be way better, probably. But this is a fun movie. I really liked it. It's not boring in the least bit. The creativity is there. I'm kind of torn if I'd like to see this one remade, because if I saw it remade, I would like to see Dan Aykroyd remake it. Nobody else.
Nobody else could.
No. But would I rather see that, or would I rather see Nothing But Trouble 2, More Trouble, with Dan Aykroyd as the judge living with Chevy Chase in the apartment? Like, who wouldn't want to see that? Like,
Dan Aykroyd, apparently.
Everybody, please go reach out to Dan Aykroyd. Go and get like a free month trial of IMDb Pro. Go check out Dan Aykroyd on there. Find his talent agent. Message them. Be like, hey, we really want to see Nothing But Trouble 2, More Trouble. And he could throw me like $20 for the name. It's a perfect name, I know. But anyways, I love this movie. I never really realized the connection with like Goonies and stuff like that, like what Ron was saying, but he's right on. But with that being said, Goonies is another one of those movies where if it's on and I'm walking past, I sit down and watch it. This one too. It catches your attention, it keeps your attention, and it's all around fun. One of the better scenes in this movie that I didn't get a chance to actually talk about because I don't know, I skipped over it, but was, when we get to see Digital Underground going, and then we see Dan Aykroyd bust out on the fucking organ and rock the fuck out. And it was awesome. I loved it. It was great. It's a fun, just happy, good time movie with some really creepy effects and a dick nose.
Happy, fun, good time movie. That sounds like the show that the Trailer Park Boys did after Trailer Park Boys with the Drunken on Drugs Happy Fun Time Hour.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? But I guess overall, I'd give this one a 7, a solid 7. This is definitely one of those movies I strongly believe everybody should at least check out one time. It's just a fun movie. I can't really say anything else about it. But anyways, one of my favorite parts of the show is where we get to sit down and read what other people thought about this movie, which sometimes can be hilarious because I'll be honest with you guys, this movie doesn't exactly have the best ratings online. So these are not my words, but these are words of other people talking about this movie as well. All right. Let me go ahead and scroll through and randomly pick one. Okay, here we go. This one is titled Burn the Negatives, Leave No Survivors. Nothing But Trouble holds a special place on my all-time worst movies ever list of shame. It's easily one of the top 10 worst movies, but it also holds the distinction of being one of the very few movies I've ever walked out on. Yes, it is with great shame that I must confess that I saw this garbage in the movie theater when I saw Demi Moore being held captive by two disgusting flops I knew I had hit hit the natter. One blob screamed, "I want another bowl of cereal." I wanted to leave with my stomach intact. I bolted for the exits. My family was with me and had to leave too since I had the car keys. I have no idea how this movie ends, and I want to keep it that way. Stick this movie in a time capsule and never dig it up. Better yet, burn the negatives to keep some poor cold family warm. Do something useful with this junk, because to watch this movie is to hate this movie. In fact, so many talented comedians were in this flotsam makes it sitting even harder. I don't know how this train wreck could be allowed to happen. I just know that no human being should have to sit through it.
Fuck them.
21 out of 43 people found that useful, man.
Okay, granted, this will never end up in the Criterion collection. Granted.
No.
But it's not like I can see like Vinegar Syndrome putting out a special edition, but then of course Dan Aykroyd would be like, nope, it's not going to happen, and the aliens are never going to come to this planet because of 9/11.
I don't know. I don't think it was that bad, but all right. Here's another one. This one's titled "The Worst," and it says, "Probably not, but it comes damn close. Monkey Bone probably tops that honor."
Oh, jeez.
I didn't mind that movie either. Brendan Fraser at his best. Dan Aykroyd, who must have been snorting cocaine nonstop while making this, directs and stars in a movie about a family who goes off course in New Jersey and ends up in the hands of a truly scary inbred family. Aykroyd plays a hanging judge with a diseased nose. John Candy plays a cop, as well as a mute, lonesome lady looking for a husband. Some truly awful stuff ensues. I am sorry to say I saw this in a theater with my wife, no less. Chevy Chase and Demi Moore co-star as the ill-fated couple. It was clear by the time this was released, 1991, that Chase was on the ropes acting-wise. Guess you guys aren't the only ones who thought that. Moore's no great shakes in it either. I always thought of this as an Aykroyd vehicle, much like Bruce Willis' ego-driven Hudson Hawk. Aykroyd acts hams up a storm while everybody else around him seems adrift or bewildered. Stay far, far away.
Fuck them.
See, I think everybody needs to see a movie at least once if they're going to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like that guy who said he didn't stick around to the end. I mean, that's just bullshit. You got to sit through the whole movie. Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm not looking forward to sitting through 4 hours of the Snyder Cut, but I'm going to watch it so I can bitch about it because I know I'm going to hate it. You know,
exactly.
Right.
You know, so I mean, because fuck Zack Snyder. Who the fuck do you think you are, Akira Kurosawa? This ain't Seven Samurai, bitch. Fuck off.
Oh man, so I guess I will do one more before we stop doing this. Oh,
Wisconsin apologizes for Zack Snyder, by the way. He is from Sheboygan, which is the Florida of Wisconsin.
I like that. It's the Florida of Wisconsin. All right, so this one is titled "Forget Trouble, Nothing is Good." In 1991, actually starting back in 1988, I made it my mission to watch as many movies as I could. Oh god, this guy's gonna give us his whole story. I gotta stop doing this randomly. I love going to the cinema and literally seeing everything, and yet in early 1981, I decidedly avoided nothing but trouble. Damn, I must have been a smart kid. This movie was so richly bad, so incredibly awful, so repulsive, and so spiteful of the human race, it should never have been made. Hell, it didn't know at any point if it wanted to be a comedy, horror, or both, and never settled on any genre. Basically, Chevy Chase's Chris agrees to take both an obnoxious and absolutely appalling couple of nitwits and Demi Moore's Diane to Atlantic City from New York, but gets sidetracked when they run a stop sign. Apparently, this is the end-all to all sin in the small town on the way to the Eastern gambling destination. Once they get caught and led to the local judge, the movie title kicks in. In honesty, and all that is good. I watched this train wreck of a disgusting and horrifyingly bad movie because the hilarious "How Did This Get Made" podcast covered it, and I needed to see it before I listened to their show. After seeing this mess, this repulsive pile of shit get progressively worse, think Garbage Pail Kids, the movie part 2. You truly wonder.
I can't believe that fucking guy is still talking. Jesus Christ. Can I go punch him in the mouth and shut him up?
At any time.
Oh my God, he's still going.
Good. But if you see this pointless, aimless, poorly written romp, at least listen to how you blah, 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 this podcast. Final thoughts. I remember the only 2 positive I saw during this. Demi Moore looks amazing, and I was impressed with the 1991 technology. I mean, who knew they had GPS in cars in 1991? Now think about it. Are those 2 positives worth wasting another 94 minutes of your life?
Okay, first off, she didn't even look her best there because her best was in striptease. Let's be honest. But,
you're right, Laura. Yes, fuck them. Nobody liked this movie, which is really fucked up. Even Ron thought it was at least a 5.
5.5.
The road, 5.5.
So I gave it above
average.
Yes, above average. Yeah.
So yeah, this is kind of shitty that this is the way it goes, but I guess this movie isn't for everybody. I'm surprised with everybody's reviews of, even though I only did 3 of them and they were random, not one of them mentioned like, oh, how dare they put a dick nose on there? Like that was not mentioned in anything. So like they found other reasons to not like this.
Well, the dick nose is not something you should hate.
To be fair, growing up, when I saw that, I didn't even realize what that was until I was older. Like I was like, I just thought he just had a fucked up looking nose. I didn't realize it was an actual dick nose.
Yeah, Chuck went into the bathroom one day after he read a Playboy, and he's like, "Wait a minute, why does my penis look like Dan Aykroyd's nose from Nothing But Trouble?"
That's exactly how it went too.
I believe it. Right. Does it come off of your pelvis just like his nose comes off of his face? Do you have a detachable penis, there, King Missile?
I hope not.
That's a funny song.
That detachable nose is so fucked up, that's for sure. It was a really messed up movie, but I still loved it though. It was a lot of fun, and
it's fun.
Chuck, dude, I'm happy you picked this one out, dude. This is a really good one, and
yeah, man.
We haven't really decided what we're doing next week yet. I know we're getting into February. Chuck and I were throwing around some ideas, considering that we have Valentine's Day coming up, so we might have to do some kind of Valentine's Day horror movies. I don't fucking know, but we'll have to talk about that off air, right, Chuck?
Oh yeah.
Right. So before we go ahead and start to get the hell out of here, Ron, why don't you tell everybody where they can check you out once again, and what you're up to?
Twitch.tv/Real Ron Purtee, Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna hang out, and don't forget to check out my YouTube, which is youtube.com/Real Ron Purtee. I've decided to just brand everything with that because it's easier. And I'll be posting all sorts of new content coming up. That's about what I'm doing right now. And my DVD is still available, or my Blu-ray rather is still available at ronhasawebsite.com. It's a compilation of everything I've done over the last 10 years. The only film that's not included is Who's Gonna Watch You Die, but that's because, well, that's like a new chapter. So this is a volume 1. Yeah, and the Blu-ray is about as long as 2001: A Space Odyssey. And you get it for $15. So, I mean, you can't go wrong there.
I remember it was pretty long. That's for sure. And
plus, you get a feature film on that. A feature film and like 10 or 13 shorts. So, I mean, that's for $15. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
No, it's a great deal. I strongly suggest everybody check that out too. There will be links to that in the show notes for everybody who's on the podcast, by the way. So, Ron, thank you once again so much for coming on. It's
no problem.
Always a fucking pleasure.
I wish this had been Blood Diner again, but that's fine.
Should we do that every other week? We'll just bring Ron Purtee on and do Blood Diner every other week. Over and over.
We can have Ron on.
Again. Walter said I have AIDS.
Oh, God. There's other movies we can do that are just as cheesy as Blood Diner. Trust me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Walter said I have AIDS. But yeah, that's...
Yes, I know you still owe me for making that clip.
Oh, fair enough.
So, anyways, dude, like I said, thank you once again. I'm going to drop you down. Feel free to stay down there. And thank you once again, everybody. Go check out Ron on Twitch, on YouTube. So, Chuck, man, been a fun episode. It's always a fucking blast talking with you, especially about this movie, man. This was. I'm happy you picked one that both of us actually really, really liked. This is a cool one. I'm surprised you picked this one, to be honest with you, but I'm happy that you did. That's for sure.
Oh well, yeah. It needed to happen, I think. And sorry if I wasn't. Like I said, I'm not feeling the best today. Crohn's disease and stuff. So
right, AIDS.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
kind of sucks.
AIDS doesn't hurt too bad. I love you anyway, buddy. I really do.
Oh, but real quick though, my band Bastard Sons of a Judas, we actually just put out our official single for our next release that we're working on, called Some Things End in Bloodshed. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, just pretty much anywhere you can like get music like that. So that's that. Check it out.
And also, may I add, dude, I checked you guys out live at the Fat Man Studios. You guys did a killer job. My only problem with it was when you guys were talking, I couldn't hear anything. But when you guys were playing, I could hear it all. But I'm pretty sure you probably heard that. And we got Lori chiming in once again saying you should do Queen of the Damned.
There's a bad
Not
movie.
a bad idea. That is a bad movie. No.
We actually thought about watching that before too long, just because she's never seen it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like,
you gonna do like all of them?
Huh?
You can do like all those movies?
Nah, just that one.
Just that one, all by itself.
Yeah, she watched Interview with the Vampire recently, and I've seen that movie 1,000 times. So
it's not bad, but
anyways, it's a good one.
Yeah, it is. So, anyways, dude, like I said, dude, you guys been rocking out. Everyone, check out his new single. You can see that over at the Tales from the Podcast page. Has been posted there, as well as the Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat. That is the hardest band name to actually like remember the order of.
There are so many people that get it wrong.
Did I get it right?
You get it right, but we've played shows and like the people like announcing us playing, they can't remember our name. My girlfriend's sister was telling everybody to check out Bastard something of a goat fucker for the longest time, and I was like, that's not even the name.
I'm gonna start calling you guys the Bastard Kid fucking goats.
No.
Like, everyone check out the Bastard Kids fucking goats. So don't Google that. That's fucked up. All right. Anyways, dude, thank you guys. It's been fun like always. Chuck, dude.
Always.
We'll be posting shortly, hopefully, what our next movie will be. So thanks everybody for listening. We love you all. And with that being said, the crypt is closed.